Okay, let's talk your house a little bit this morning with Jake Self. He's here from Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And today he's not talking the big projects. He's talking the little things that can drive you nuts and mess up any party plans that you might have in the weeks to come. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So when I came walking in the studio, remember what I said to you? I said, all right, Jake, what part of my house do you want to talk about today? Y'all are pretty much frequent flyers, it feels like, at my house. My husband and I will say that we think, have tackled all the major things. But those little things will drive you insane.
Absolutely. And this time of year when we're looking at our seasonal parties, guests coming in, there are a couple little things that we need to address, whether some outlets, a light switch, maybe there's a leaky faucet that the guests are going to use and you don't want to hear about it when they get there, right? So let's come out there and just to tackle those little things before the guests arrive.
But your dance card's going to fill up. People better call you early. Is that right?
We are here 24/7. It may take a little longer to get to some new people that aren't part of our Happy Hiller Club, but we're going to get to you just as fast as we can.
So what are some things that you do see? You mentioned the electrical. I would think, even though you're talking about if something's annoying you, get that tackled. But from a maintenance perspective, we're going to be plugging a lot of things in the weeks ahead.
Right. And how much are we truly plugging in? Are we sharing a circuit that maybe shouldn't be shared, whether it's that convenient outlet by the back door that also shares all the kitchen appliances? There's a good chance you might overload that with all your Christmas lights. So
right.
Is there a different option that we can do there?
I'm because I don't know what I'm talking about. So I would rather just have a thorough inspection to know that I'm good to go.
Absolutely.
Plumbing, if you're having people in your house, that's going to be overused. If you're hosting Thanksgiving or Christmas and you have a garbage disposal, hold on tight. So can y'all come in and just do kind of a maintenance inspection on that stuff?
Yeah, so we do one-time inspections, or again, become a Happy Hiller Club member, so you can get that same day service, 10% off, and we can address your needs as they come.
You're dangling that carrot, so explain it to folks who don't know the Happy Hiller Club.
So we have different memberships because we might have a customer that has their go-to HVAC guy that they've always used for the last 30 years. Well, if you don't have anybody for plumbing and electrical, we'd love to bring you into the Happy Hiller Club and show you the benefit of having someone come out once a year, both in plumbing and electrical, to make sure your system is functioning. And again, you get front of the line same day service, as well as a 10% off of all your repairs.
Plumbing, we've covered. Okay, let's talk heating. All the joke around town is it ever going to get cold? But it will, and it will get cold when your HVAC unit's not prepared for it, and there you go.
Yeah, we've already started seeing those cracked heat exchangers that we talked about last time that we experienced with you last year.
Yeah.
So if we can get those safety inspections before it gets too dang cold, hopefully we can get parts and keep you in the heat.
Okay, let's bring people up to speed in case they didn't hear, but was it January? When it got so incredibly cold, like whatever the coldest day was last January, we were sitting in our house and all of a sudden you just hear silence. And that did not sound good. Anyway, our heating was gone.
Yep.
And called y'all, you were out in no time and you were able to diagnose it, but then getting that part was a challenge. We got it,
but it was
tricky.
stuck at the factory. Yep.
Has that gotten any better?
I mean, we have some government mandates coming up to where more stuff is going to become more efficient, so they're changing product again. So our manufacturers are saying there could be some issues where there's some holes in the inventory. So it's going to be first come, first serve. We're going to try our dangest to make sure we service everybody, but there's no guarantee that there might be some times where it might be a little cold in the house. Okay,
I'm jumping ahead now, but you mentioned government regulations. Let's go to next spring. Because isn't that in 2025 when this new regulation kicks in about coolant?
Yep.
Explain. Okay, see, I'm learning.
You are.
Because can you service the cooling side of your HVAC unit now?
Well, it's the refrigerant. So if people have heat pumps, that refrigerant is moving both in the cooling as well as the heating.
Okay.
And yes, the government mandate is we're going to change the type of refrigerant again. We're still going to be able to service the older stuff, but when it comes to new equipment, they're changing what's going to be inside them. So
okay, so like mine, when it cracked last year.
Yep.
If that was January of 2025, and
you're
that
still
was
good. Yours is gas. You have gas heat.
Oh, okay.
If you had a heat pump, we would have to see if there was still inventory of the parts for that particular system, or it's upgrading to the new.
Okay.
And they're saying that we could see anywhere from a 10 to a 30% increase in equipment costs.
Okay, so I'm kind of an open book. So here's my latest Hiller story. We have 2 units at our house, and the upstairs control was not working properly, and we would set it on a 72, and it would just fluctuate all the time, and it was constantly running, and my electric bill showed the results. So we got y'all back out there. We had recently had something put in kind of in a hurry, had not used you, and the person had put in the wrong type of thermostat. So it was at risk, as I understood it, of actually throwing my whole HVAC unit and messing me up. Like the whole thing was wrong. And your guy ended up going up into our attic. We didn't even know we had a fan up there. We learned all types of things about our house that we've lived in for 6 years. And when y'all left, Mark and I both kept saying that was so worth it for the peace of mind.
Good.
And that's why you're happy, Hiller.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As long as our customers are.
Am I going to get the last word?
Go for it.
Okay, here's where you'll find them. happyhiller.com is the website. 481-9180. I know I kind of hijacked it, but it's only because they've helped me so much in the last year, and it's been great to have that peace of mind. So thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Did you know that clogged dryer vents cause more than 15,000